Well, I think that's one way of putting another thing that I've said quite a lot, which is that today's activists, especially those coming from the left, want to control society through its food, its labor, and its energy. And those are the three, you control those three things. There's nothing in society that can be done on its own without food, labor, or energy. So this is why you've got an environmental movement. This is why you've got organized labor. And this is why you've got, everybody from the mercury and fish scaremongers to the genetically modified food people who say it's going to give us a third glowing eyeball. They're out to control our food, our labor, and our energy resources, and that's how they're going to remake society. PETA is just one part of a much bigger picture that includes the Greenpeacers, the AFL-CIO, and you name it.
Yeah, these really are despicable people. They've got the bioethicist movement that says, well, Daschle wrote in a book, if you're old, you're supposed to go blind and die. You're not going to get health care. I mean, he said that because humans are bad. And you're right, got to kill your animals. No more dogs, no more cats. Basset hounds will be extinct, German shepherds. Nothing we made, nothing we bred will stay. Everything will die. They will kill all your cats, kill all your dogs. Again, it's hard for people to believe Jeffrey Dahmer grabbed people off the street and injected them with acid in the brain. But he existed. The real Jeffrey Dahmers get power. They con well-meaning people to help them. Sir, one more segment. Let's plug your website and what you guys are doing and how we can stop the auxiliary groups of PETA that are more mainstream. And how do we stop them killing people's dogs and cats? David Martosko is our guest. Folks, I found reality is so much weirder than you can even imagine. I mean, listen, I thought my girlfriend I couldn't believe it, but I knew she was a serious person. And, she would show me a shoebox of her in USA Today and the, things she did with PETA. They used her for media. She had a degree in that. And then years later, everything she talked about started coming out in the news. In fact, David, didn't they just catch one of them like a year ago, throwing hundreds of animals in a trash can illegally? I mean, these are ghoulish, crazy people, and they're so crazy, people can't believe they're really doing this.
That's correct. A few years ago, the summer of 2005, police in a town called Ahoskie, North Carolina, caught two PETA employees throwing 34 dead animals into a trash dumpster behind a grocery store. And at the time, they had just literally hours before picked up these poor animals from a shelter and from a veterinarian. And in many cases, these animals didn't make it out of the parking lot alive. They were killed in the back of the van and then tossed into a dumpster.
But that's what I mean. They're like grave diggers.
It really is pretty sick, frankly. Did you know that PETA has taken a $9,700 tax deduction for a giant walk-in freezer at its headquarters building? And in the trial of those two employees, one of PETA's managers conceded that the walk-in freezer, and we're talking about a freezer bigger than my office, is just for storing dead bodies of animals. And they've got a crematory service that comes once a month to pick up the dead ones.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. They're obsessed with death. I mean, my wife said, because she was just immediately in the upper sanctum of it, that it was humans are evil. We got to get rid of humans. This is just getting people ready for it. And
you're right. PETA's early founders were big fans of the Earth First movement. And, their big campfire chant was, people are living who should be dead. This is the whole idea of forced extinction of a large portion of humanity. And I think it would be a fair assumption to say that one of PETA's goals is to move humanity in that direction.
But that's the big foundation goals, the Rockefeller Foundation. I was just researching Google. Most of their foundation money goes to helping Africans in sustainability. These people, everything I look into, it ends with these people. And PETA is just one extension of them. Like you said, isn't PETA involved advising some of the bigger animal groups?
Well, PETA is one of the bigger animal groups itself, but it certainly is involved with advising a host of smaller ones around the world. And remember now, PETA is not just doing this domestically. They've got offices in England, in France, in Germany, in Hong Kong, in Australia. They're going global. So they are really trying to achieve the implementation of their agenda anywhere they can get a foot in the door. The only place that's seen fit to throw them out so far is the Philippines. But other than that, everybody's willing to have them. Because they're fun to watch.
It's amazing. These sickos, though, have been exposed by you and others. Tell folks about the websites. And, I mean, it does seem they're in retreat now because just how macabre they are has really come out.
Well, PETA certainly is in retreat, but I think it's important to note that the Humane Society of the U.S. has been, picking up where PETA left off. This is just a richer, smarter, more clever PETA. That's all it is. And it's not affiliated with any pet shelters anywhere. So don't think it's your local Humane Society. The Humane Society of the U.S. is just PETA with a nicer wristwatch. Come to visit us at PETAkillsanimals.com. You can see the records from the state government. You can see photographs, police evidence photographs of some of the crazy stuff they've been up to. And at our flagship website, which is consumerfreedom.com, is all about arming ordinary citizens with the information they need to know to protect their own food choices and thumb their nose at the people who are trying to control them.
Well, we do need to have you back up for a full hour sometime without me just interchanging information.
And I'd love to talk to your lovely missus, because I know she was the one who threw the dead raccoon on Anna Wintower's plate. I mean, she's got a serious history in this movement. I'd love to pick her brain sometime. Maybe you can set that up.
Oh, so you do know who my wife is?
Oh, I know who your wife is very well, yes. I know her aliases, which I will not spew on the air out of respect. But I'd love to meet her sometime, next time I'm in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, we turned down a big book deal just because of privacy, and she
it can be off the record.
She's totally embarrassed by all that. I know. Well, I think the book summary is what made its way around, and some of the things. But I mean, I told her when she was just my girlfriend 10 years ago, I said, don't do it. She was ready to do it because I said, people aren't going to believe this. Now is the time for her maybe to come public, because now a lot of it's come out. I mean, I told her, I said, no one's going to believe this. There's a lot of stuff I know people won't believe, so I don't cover it on air. Well, listen, we appreciate you and appreciate the work you're doing. Take care.
Anytime. Take good care of yourself, everybody.
You bet. Take care. Yeah, my wife was their attack dog. God, she's going to get mad if she hears this.
We're on